Yo, what's up everyone? Bren here, and this is going to be an offlane Venomancer commentary. So I'll be playing him as a core this game. I think this hero is really strong right now with all the early fighting going on. And he's specifically just good versus some of the meta heroes such as Slardar, TA, Tusk. I think he's really strong versus Tiny as well. He controls mobility from blink daggers in team fights. He makes pushing a lot easier because plague wards give vision. It makes it harder for the enemy team to use their blink daggers to actually initiate on you. And personally, guys, I feel like he's not really that good as a support because he needs more levels in farm relative to other support heroes such as Wyvern or Witch Doctor to be just as effective as him. And if he's a support, usually by the time you get your level 2 ultimate up and your max poison, the enemy team will probably have a Glimmer Cape and a mech. So I don't think he can hit a good power spike as a support. But if you play him as a core, on the other hand, you can quickly get up max wards, you can get up your max poison sting, and you can just go around sieging towers, putting on a lot of pressure, and getting an advantage before the enemy team can get up items such as Glimmer Cape, Greaves, or Pipe. Yeah, so I'm going to play him in the offlane against a Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain just died, but he actually just got the bounty rune, so he's halfway to level 1, and he denied it against the Windrunner. So it's actually not too bad of a death for him, but yeah. So something to note in this lane, guys, I'm sitting at 44 damage, and Queen of Pain is at 62. So he almost has a 20 damage auto attack lead on me. So in terms of like a straight up blast hit war, he's definitely gonna win. So we have to do these type of plays. We have to push him out of the lane. So Wyvern popped her Q and managed to just push him out of the lane, push the co-op out of lane, which is we're gonna need to be doing that in this type of lane. Like, yeah, especially against a solo offlaner or solo safe lane like this. But they're gonna have the charging Spirit Breaker. So even though the Queen of Pain is solo, there's gonna be a Spirit Breaker putting pressure on us. Now right here, Spirit Breaker is going on the Wyvern. I want to actually put a ward right in between them guys, right there, just to block him. And I'm gonna come up to these trees as well, just to block him. And I also put another ward out, just if you wanted to go out the other route. But yeah, so right here I throw out another one. He either has to eat a tango, or he has to kill it, which he killed it. Yeah. I actually messed up right there, guys. One of the wards was actually hitting Queen of Pain, but I continued with my chasing to try and throw out the last ward and hopefully get him, but he's gonna end up surviving. Level 1 Poison Sting just doesn't do enough damage to kill him through his high base regen. But yeah, one of the wards was actually hitting Queen of Pain. So if I controlled it better right there, Spirit Breaker definitely would have died, but it's still not that bad because Spirit Breaker has to heal. Yeah, so in terms of item build, I really like the Ring of Protection because it makes trading a lot easier with the safe laning supports. The Mango gives you HP regen, and Healing Salve is good for regen. And then two branches, which are going to be built into a wand. So I really like this build. And obviously, guys, Bassi, since it gives static 0.65 mana regen, that's going to be really effective in terms of Veno's mana costs on Plague Ward, which is only 20, so it really allows you to spam your wards a lot. And also having the quick Bassi is going to be really important because Veno's one of the heroes that actually starts putting on tower pressure extremely fast in lane. So just having the armor aura on your creeps, like your creeps survive longer, so you can get more damage in. Now right here, I'm gonna be casting the ward. I'm casting the ward in front of me, guys, to slow the Spirit Breaker. If I had turned around and cast it, I would have had to deal with turn rate, and I like effectively just stun yourself. So you just cast it right in front of yourself. It's gonna be attacking Spirit Breaker anyways. Don't have to deal with turn rate. And really good rotation from the Earth Spirit to get that kill on the Spirit Breaker right there. Pop my salve just to stay high in HP. And right now, guys, since I have level 2 ward, I have level 2 poison sting, I'm just going to be constantly throwing down my wards. Like, this is what you want to be doing on this hero. Like, once you get your Bassi ring up, once you get a few levels up, you just spam wards, and a lot of the time the enemy safe lane just won't be able to deal with it. The lane they have in this game is actually really good. Like, this is a higher MMR game. I think the average... Actually, I don't remember the average. It's like 5.5 plus, but... in these type of games, you see a lot of, like, Queen of Pain safe lanes. You just see a lot of these traditional, like, offlane / mid heroes that are going into the safe lane right now. Just because the offlane role right now in this patch is just full of dual lanes and just a lot of aggressive harass type lanes, like Undyings, Tux, Lich Slaughter lanes, Dooms. So you see a lot of these type of heroes with escapes in the safe lane. And sometimes like the carry will go to the off lane just because that's just a safer route. Like that's why you aren't like seeing a lot of Spectres right now. You're not seeing Faces, Voids, Medusas. Like they just can't really cope with these type of lanes. But yeah, the Queen of Pain is really good in this situation against a Veno, and that's why I didn't get a point in my Gale early, guys. Sometimes you can actually get a point into it early, and that'll allow you to get like a kill on support. But against a Queen of Pain, it's not really going to be that effective, and that's just gonna take a skill point away from me. That just won't really be that useful in terms of just having it in another point. Like having a third point in Poison Sting is gonna be a lot more effective once we get to the stage in the game where I'm gonna go to another lane and start pushing a different tower. But yeah, sometimes you can definitely get a point into it early, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Like for it to really start doing damage, you need 2 points into it, guys. And that really sets you behind on the ward Poison Sting build. It just makes you a lot less effective, in my opinion. But yeah, I have my Best Earring on. I'm constantly spamming my wards to pressure this lane, keep it pushed in. And the nice thing about Veno as well, guys, is sometimes if you're playing like a 1v2, for example, and you can get to the stage where you have levels, if you have a field of wards down, even if they want to go on you and kill you, usually you can get like a return kill, just because they're fighting into all the DPS that the wards provide. They're gonna be poisoned, and it's gonna be really hard for them to take you down without at least trading one of them. But yeah. Now Wyvern is actually gonna be harassing the Quap right as a creep wave is spawning. So that does two things. It forces the Quap back. Quap wasn't able to draw aggro off these creeps, and it took that wave off. So it allows me to get a lot of damage onto the tower. So that was a really good play by the Wyvern right there. So I'm constantly throwing down my wards. And we're gonna be getting this tower. Like the Spirit Breaker doesn't have his charge up, so he can't go up to deny this. Like if he had his charge up, maybe he goes up for a deny attempt and then charges out. But yeah, there's really no way that they were getting the denying right there. And like another reason I really like Veno offlane, guys, is if you can get like a dual lane, which is really easy to do in the offlane right now. Just ask someone to go dual lane with you. If you manage to get the tower early, that it pressures the mid laners right now a lot, because a lot of the mid laners right now, such as Shadow Fiend, Lina, TA, these type of heroes, they really want to abuse neutrals. They want to do farm rotations between mid, the jungle, and if you can get down the enemy safe lane tower, that means that you can get up aggressive wards easier. You just have a lot more map control, more vision, and it just makes a lot easier to just pressure the mids that are being picked right now. Like we took the enemy safe lane. I'm going straight to mid, guys. Like, this is how I like to play the hero. I take one tower, or I take the tower, or I just stay in the lane and pressure it. Obviously, you won't be getting the tower every game, but a lot of the time. Well, first of all, we're gonna have a Shaco right there, pretty good Shaco on the Shadow Fiend. Hubs his ult as well. Like I don't want to overextend right here. I don't have win run. Veno's really slow. He can get it by himself. I'm just sitting back and throwing down my wards, getting a ward filled out right now. Yeah, they managed to get Spirit Breaker as well as a Shadow Fiend. And it looks like they're going to be getting the Wisp as well. But yeah, obviously guys, you won't be getting the tower, the enemy safe lane tower every game. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But usually you're going to force at least one support to sit there, and you're going to be putting on a lot of pressure onto the enemy carry. So much pressure that he has to just sit by the tower, sit underneath the tower. The enemy carry probably won't be able to do jungle rotations, which he wants to get ahead in the game. Here, and that was a really quick blink from the starter, so they managed to pick me off right there. Yeah, that was kind of just did not expect that. So the first blink that, so we got the blink and he managed to get a gank off pretty easily. That's kind of just how starter is. The first blink gank of the game. But yeah, not gonna let that discourage me. Like even though I just died there, guys, I just want to continue with my plan. Like I just want to kind of sit around and throw out my wards. Now right here, I'm kind of wishing I had my ultimate. If I had my ultimate, I would actually be able to do a lot of damage right here. Well, actually, it might not be. Yeah, the ultimate right here would have been actually amazing, guys. But either way, I have max level poison wards and I have level 3 poison sting, so it's all right either way. And they're just overcommitting, guys. They're fighting into the wards, which are constantly doing damage, and your wards have your poison sting on them. Even though I think the damage from your poison sting that your wards get is half, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. It might be full damage, but yeah, they get your orb as well. That was a really good cold embrace right there. Doesn't save him, but delays his death. Yeah, I'm gonna be going into mech as well, guys. I'm a huge fan of mech on this hero, just because you're constantly pushing anyways. So right there, that team fight actually, I'd say it actually went our way. Like Shadow Fiend doesn't want to be dying, Queen of Pain does not want to be dying. Like we have the type of lineup with the Doom, a Veno. Just all of our heroes are so good from playing it like an even state of the game or from ahead. Their team wants to be the team that just gets ahead, but so I go back to mid. I'm just going to constantly be pressuring this lane, throwing out my wards. Something that you always want to be doing as well, guys, is whenever your wards get off cooldown, you want to be placing them. Like you want to be really fast at placing them, just so you always have as many plague wards up as possible. I finally hit my ult. If I had it in that previous fight, that actually would have been huge, but yeah, just a mistake for me from not getting it early. So I'm constantly throwing out my wards, keeps the lane pressured in, and like even if they're killing the ward, guys, and I'm not getting much tower damage in, I'm at the very least making at least one hero commit to me, usually two, to clear the wards out. So SF in this case, he's like he's using his time to tech these wards instead of like doing jungle rotations. Like this really isn't efficient with his time. So even though he's getting gold from the wards, guys, he's missing out on the gold that he would be getting by just going and doing jungle rotations. So even though he's getting the wards, it's not a big deal. So we have a cold embrace from the high ground. And there's Brick's just in the middle between all of them, throwing out another ward right here, and my ultimate. Queen of Pain. He doesn't have a screen up, and his ultimate's on cooldown. So yeah, he does not want to continue that battle. Even if he was to kill me, he would die himself right there. So he just TPs out. Just walking back to base, just watching this team fight. Actually, I'm just like sticking around actually. Yeah, they don't really have too many threats for me right now, and I can just stay here and throw out my wards from range anyways. This is what I would be doing either way. Yeah, generally you can kind of just stick around on low HP and just throw out your wards to help. So the reason I didn't walk back to base right there right away is because I thought I could have. Like if an opening showed itself, I wanted to be there to throw out some wards, do some damage, slow them, but yeah, I wasn't able to really do anything. But I'm back in base now, I'm healing. Getting pretty close to my mech. Another good thing about mech this game is they have a lot of physical damage, so the armor it's going to give me and my team, it's going to be really important. And mech is really good against heroes such as Starter and Spearbreaker, who just kind of want to just straight up kill their target almost instantly, right when they jump on top of them. They want to kill their targets extremely fast, and mech makes that really hard to do. That was a really good stun from her spirit. Throwing out my ward right there. So this is kind of a weird team fight. SF is in really good position to get raises off. Pop my wand, and I'm throwing out my ward. So like they can't really. They don't want to continue into that. SF is slowed right now. Yeah, we cannot chase the SF right there. But still, I'm throwing out my wards in this lane now. We still have vision on this SF. He's not going back at all. Just kind of just sitting around. Oh, now he's back. He's TPing bottom. Okay. Yeah, like we're here, just putting up a ward field. And the nice thing about just putting up these wards constantly, guys, is even if to say like there was like a fight that breaks out in another lane that I TP to, these wards are still gonna be here. They're still gonna be pressuring the lane because they last for 40 seconds. Like they will keep the lanes pushed just by themselves. Like an enemy hero does need to come here and actually clear these to alleviate the lane pressure that they put on. So I was pinging mid because it's really low. Windrunner's going in. Yeah, Windrunner's just charging in there now. Wanted to get it, but they TP'd mid, and I'm just throwing out my wards from afar. Like if they want to commit and kill me, like I've already talked about, guys. Like you don't want to fight into a ward field really early, and this is why this hero is just so good. He just forces the enemy's hand. They need heroes to just commit and to just defend this tower. I think Doom should actually just be farming right here, but it's not too big of a deal. Yeah, so they're just off map. It's pushing the tower in, and they managed to get Roche. It's not that big of a deal, just because we have bottom tower. We're going to be getting top, and we also have mid tower. So we have a lot of map control right now, guys. A lot of map control. It's really hard for them to do stuff. And Wisp lineups really prefer games where the map is split, because that allows you to just get ganks easier. It allows the Wisp to just stay with the desired tethered unit on the team and just help speed up their farm. But the way we're playing is like we're kind of sticking together and kind of deathballing, so it's pretty bad for the Wisp lineup to be down on towers at this point in the game against our lineup. Yeah, just maintaining an aggressive positioning on the map. Like you don't want to be like sitting back in your own jungle on this hero and just farming. Like you just want to be in lanes, putting out wards just to put on lane pressure, or just like what I'm doing right here. I'm farming the enemy jungle, so I'm effectively taking their farm if they want to come in here, and making it a lot less safe for them. But so it's kind of wandering in here anyways. Gonna have a Spirit Breaker ult right there. Doom uses Ice Armor on the Wind Ranger. That actually just delayed his death by a decent amount, actually. Yeah, and I managed to get TP and just get a good ultimate off. Throwing down my wards, even use my Gale, but it's just level 1. But yeah, like Clop is blinking into the wards. Sarah is poisoned. Obviously, the SF did have the Aegis right there, but it's a nice attempt at a save, but this Raze cleaned up the Wyvern right there. This game I was actually thinking about rushing. I was thinking about rushing Guardian Greaves. Because Guardian Greaves is going to be amazing against the enemy lineup because of the... Well, first of all, I can purge off Sardar's damage amp, which is really nice. That just really increases my survivability if I get jumped. And the fact that once you get low and you have Guardian Greaves, the aura activates and you get the extra 15 armor. So I'm going to be building Greaves for sure against the enemy lineup. It's probably the best item you can have against a Slardar Shadow Fiend type lineup. But I decided to just go for a Vlad's instead. This is also going to provide 5 armor throughout the team fight, and just the lifesteal is going to help out a lot in terms of sustaining against their lineup. Yeah, Vlad's is really good against starter guys. Like, that's why you just see teams prioritize the item against starter in competitive games. I think both Mech and Vlad's are like mandatory. Like, Mech and Vlad's just completely shut these like high physical damage lineups down. They just shut them down, kind of. Makes starter a lot less effective. Especially if starter goes for a utility build, which he's going for. Now, I popped the Mech just to keep the Wyvern alive a little bit longer. And that's a really good shackle. I'm going to be throwing out my ultimate right here. I want to walk forward a little bit, but yeah, there's no point in throwing it out because those 2 heroes were dead. And yeah, there's just no point in me using it right there. Yeah, so those are a really good team fight for us. Now we can just push our advantage. The Vlad's aura also obviously gives damage as well, so it makes doing these type of pushes after you win a team fight a lot more effective, just because you kill the tower quicker. So Shadow Fiend pops his ultimate out of invis right there, but doesn't manage to get anyone. We actually have a lot of armor, guys, with both the Mech activation, the Vlad's, and the Doom, who has ice armor. I always say that the Wolf Creep is the best, but like I've been talking about, against these type of lineups where they just have a lot of burst damage, like you just want to be surviving through that burst, and that's just how you're going to be winning the team fights. Especially against a starter that goes for this utility build with the blink and the force. Like, he doesn't really have much. He doesn't offer much damage himself. He's mostly about jumping on a target, stunning them, and then like force staffing away, or using force staff to give more mobility on top of the blink. And it's just how that type of build works. But if you can sustain through it and live, those type of lineups just become a lot less effective. So the Doom having the ice armor from the Ogre creep instead of the Wolf creep is actually really good here, I think. I think it's definitely the best choice in these type of situations. Yeah, so managed to get the Queen of Pain right there. He kind of just wasn't paying attention. Well, actually it's nighttime, so he didn't have too much time to react. He was actually blinking, but Doom canceled his blink. Right here. I actually probably could have popped my mech and saved the Doom if I was a little bit closer, but I'm playing kind of weary right now. So the Wisp is kind of like trying to alone right now. Managed to pick off the Wisp, and Spearbreaker's like charging through wards and shit. That's actually so funny. But but they're on the Blade Mailed Earth Spirit, who I managed to ulti them as well, so it's really good. And well, that's actually insane. Look, we just basically 3v5'd them right there, guys. Yeah, and our team is actually just taking the racks, so that created enough space for them to do that type of stuff. And that's just like kind of the power of the core Veno, I'd say. Like, this hero just does a lot of damage. I remember checking the hero damage at the end of the game, and well, Veno generally has the most hero damage in the game, but it's mostly important early game, I'd say. No, I have my Guardian Grease. Like I've already mentioned, this is going to be amazing versus the enemy lineup. Like, people always talk about this item being really good because it provides like the Purge, which is obviously great versus a hero like Sardar, but the armor that also gives once you get low is also huge. So just maintaining an aggressive stance right now. We want to try and get a pick off and then go for a Rax push. Or maybe we take Aegis and then go for a Rax push. Something. Like one of those two.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Heading towards mid just to defend this. Like we can't go, like we really can't go high ground without taking a risky fight. But I think our team said just like fuck it, let's just do this anyways. So we're going bottom.
Dire's middle tower
I actually
is
was,
under attack.
I think I told my team to actually just kind of like wait around a little bit and until I get like a ward, wards up, a bunch of wards up, but we're actually just straight up going towards them. Shackle shot didn't latch on anything. That was actually really good. Stun from the starter right there. The crush. So I'm getting my ultimate off on the starter. Wisp has to send him back. So that is the Wisp not near the battle. And we have the Doom on top of the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend doesn't have like an Aegis or anything. That was a really good Force Staff, by the way, from the Wyvern. Force Staff into the Cold Embrace. That definitely saved me. Like if I was closer to the Shadow Fiend when his Death Requiem went off, I would have died. Especially if I didn't have the regen from the Cold Embrace as well. So
Dire's top tower is under attack.
put my Greaves. Keeps us nice and high in HP. And obviously it returns the mana as well.
Dire's top
String
tower
out wards
is
right
under
here.
attack. Radiant structures are falling.
Queen of Pain just, I don't know if he wanted to use his ultimate like that quickly, but they're kind of getting desperate at this point. Like they need to get us off the racks. Like they need to take an engagement. Otherwise, we're just gonna take this easily. And if you notice, guys, like the wards are constantly on the starter. So like it makes it really hard for him to initiate at this stage of the game. Well, any stage actually. Just the wards completely destroy the starter's role in the game. So managed to get that Rex. We have a gem now in the Winter Wyvern, just to push our advantage even farther. Like if you get like a Rex this early, if you just follow it up with a gem, it makes it really hard for the enemy team to come back, just because you can constantly be taking out their wards. Now we had an idea that they were roshing, so we're just kind of waiting around right here. Maybe throwing out another ward as well. Throwing out my Gale and my ultimate. That ultimate wasn't that amazing, but still, I hit the Quap, which definitely helped kill him. Kind of like, yeah. So Shadow Fiend's attacking me, but he doesn't really do that much right now. Just with all the armor I have, and Wisp has to save him. So this is just gonna free up a Roche right here. Yeah, Wisp came back, but that was actually insane that he just lived. The Earth Spirit kind of made the mistake of just stunning a little bit too early. Because he obviously had no target to tether to. With the Shadow Fiend being brought back to base, but yeah, those type of mistakes happen. I made that type of mistake in my last Ember video, if you guys remember. Use my chains way too early on the Shadow Fiend. A lot of TP out. That shit just happens. You just get impatient, you want to go for the immediate kill, so you just... yeah, use your stun too early. Well, you don't have to. Yeah, at this point, yeah, we got a really good Shackle Shot right there. Wisp does not have Relocate right now, but still, that's an amazing crush on top of a charge. But, like, do you see this, guys? Like, when I got low, just the activation aura starts kicking in. I become extremely survivable against... like, even if the amp is on me, I still have an insane amount of armor when I'm low because of the Greaves aura. And just the regen it provides. The mass amount of regen it provides. Yeah. So Quap blinked right there. I know his blink is on cooldown for a little bit, so I managed to get my ultimate off. And I actually went for a drums follow-up, guys, just because I knew that we had a huge advantage and we could just go for another Rax push. Otherwise, I probably would have went for a point booster into an Axe, but just getting the drums up, another aura that I can pop, and just make our team fight a lot stronger. Like right now, compared to the Axe route, where it's not going to be as effective as the drums until I actually complete it. Obviously, the Axe would be a lot better than having a drum, but it doesn't provide its full effectiveness until I can fully complete it. Pop my Greaves again. Yeah, at this point, I basically said fuck it. Like we're so ahead. Like the only way that they win is if they completely wipe us and get a lot of comeback gold. And start taking, and they get like the gem, and they start taking back map control. So I said fuck it. I'm just gonna be going for a pipe. And actually pick up just a Hood of Defiance from the side shop. I don't think it really matters too much right now. It's a situation what I build, but you still have to like execute these type of pushes without throwing them. And this is gonna make it even harder for them to kill me. To be honest, like they have a lot of magic damage from the Shadow Fiend. Queen of Pain does magic damage. Even Spear Breaker's spells are magic, I believe. Yeah, his spells are magical damage. It's gonna make me even harder to kill. Stirring on my wards constantly. The wards definitely do lose effectiveness at this stage. That's alright. So we're gonna be having a fight though. I brought a decent ultimate. Actually, it wasn't that great, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. Only hit the Slardar. But yeah, like the wards do fall off at this stage, guys. Both like the wards themselves and just your poison sting, your orb in general. So that's why I think just running him as a core like this and just playing him the way I did, just forcing the enemy to come to you. Otherwise, they lose their towers. You create space. I think it's the most effective way to play him right now. Yep, managed to get this Rax. And this game is definitely fucking over, so I'm just going to fast forward, do this replay, and show the score screen. So this is a pretty good game, though. I think this hero is really fun. To be honest, he's just so chill, and he's good. Like I said, I think he's really good right now versus a lot of heroes. I think he's amazing versus Slardar. This game, he's decent versus Spirit Breaker. He's alright versus Shadow Fiend. He's not that good versus Wisp. Well, Veno's actually really good at. He's really bad against Wisp, and he's not that great versus Quap. But yeah.
Shiny for my ever-growing hoard.
The heck? Why is that popping up? Well, either way, you can still see the items, GPM. Anyways, guys, this is Bren. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video, found it useful. See you guys later.